You're watching the Arsenal Vodcast. Bacary Sagna believes Arsenal can take some heart from their first half display at Newcastle.
Yeah, if you think about the first half, we play like we play at home. We fulfill to score 4 goals. We fulfill to keep a clean sheet. But during the second half, I don't know what happened and why it happened, but it's hard to take, but we have to take it because we have many games behind and we just want to keep looking forward.
It all went wrong after the break at St James's Park, but Wojciech Szczesny is still confident of winning the title.
Yeah, of course it could be my opportunity and the team's opportunity to catch them up. They're going to drop points. There's no question about that. Let's just hope that we can get more wins and have better results than today.
Throughout the season, we'll be heading back to the museum to look at the men, the moments and the memorabilia that have shaped modern Arsenal. Today we take a closer look at a pair of boots which altered the course of history at the club.
This is a pair of boots Michael Thomas wore in 1989 when he scored the famous second goal at Anfield when we won the championship in rather extraordinary circumstances that evening. So Michael, as you can see, he kept them going for a few years afterwards, and then eventually, just as they were about to fall to pieces, brought them in for us to use in the original museum at Highbury. So it was very nice of him to do that. He was actually playing at Liverpool by then, but obviously did that for us in 1989, playing for us.
Despite defecting to Liverpool soon after, the name of Michael Thomas still resonates with Arsenal fans today. Himself a proud Londoner.
Yeah, Michael again was a local guy, a South Londoner, like Dave Rocastle. The pair of them had played youth football over in South London for Lambeth and Lewisham and things like that. And he'd come through the ranks as a young player here, and he really just got into the team. He was originally a kind of right fullback really, and then just managed to get into the team. Bit of luck as a midfield player that season.
That campaign, and indeed the final moments of the season, has become football folklore that people are still talking about 22 years later.
Quite a famous season, of course. It was the Hillsborough season after all the events that happened there, so the league was a bit late finishing that year, and obviously Arsenal had been in a pretty decent position through most of the season and then rather fell away towards the end of the season. And they really did need to win the final game at Anfield by 2 clear goals to take it. It was actually on goals scored, not even on goal difference. So it was just purely the fact that we'd scored more goals than Liverpool. So it was quite an important game. Most people didn't really give us much of a chance. Liverpool were pretty much invincible in those days at Anfield. So to go up there and win by 2 clear goals, and obviously these pair of boots to get the second of the goals, was quite a moment. By the end it was looking increasingly like we were going to win the match, but it wouldn't have been enough. And then of course in that literally almost the last minute of the entire league season, Michael popped up and scored the goal. So it was an incredible moment. We were actually watching the game at Highbury at the old stadium on a big screen TV there, so the celebrations were quite incredible.
The win provoked hysteria in the red half of North London and also provided the launchpad for a new era of success.
And achieved with that goal in the last minute by Michael Thomas.
We hadn't won a championship for quite a few years. Liverpool, of course, were dominant through the 70s and 80s, and they were, the great team of that particular period. And to actually go up to Anfield and get a result there was an incredible feat. And also the fact that the team were, they were a very young bunch of guys, really. Michael was in his very early 20s. David Rocastle, who was a very good friend of his, was about the same. Alan Smith was, one of the older players, and even he was quite young in those days. It was a very young group of players, and everyone thought they'd done an incredibly good season and maybe had just fallen at the last hurdle when they actually pulled it off as well to actually win the title, and obviously Tony Adams lifted the trophy there. It was quite a moment. Obviously, it got Arsenal back into the bigger picture. It's winning championships. We won the championship again 2 years later. George Graham brought in one or two newer players like Anders Limpar, and then of course more recently Mr. Wenger appeared, and the rest of that really is history.
Suddenly it was Michael Thomas bursting through. The bounce fell his way. He flips it wide of Grobbelaar, and we have the most dramatic finish maybe in the history of the Football League.